Hello and welcome to the 19th episode of the 86 podcast, hosted by Brandon, aka Swag Rabbit, and myself, Nate from Flat Crank Autocross. Today, truck guys rejoice as Toyota upgrades the Tundra and Roush upgrades the Ram 1500. Meanwhile, Mazda and Roof promise exciting new concepts. Is it Roof or RUF? Because I don't know if the guy's last name.
I'm gonna be honest, everybody just calls it Roof. The first time I ever heard about it was fucking one of the Forza games when they didn't get a license for Porsche, so they just started using the off-brand.
Yeah. Mazda and Roof promise exciting new concepts, and we talk style with Maserati and Aston Martin. So, our lead story today is the 2027 Tundra and its new Trail Hunter trim. So, you will know this better than I. Trail Hunter's like an existing performance trim for their trucks, and they're just making that version of the Tundra? That's my understanding.
I think it might be a new trim. Trail Hunter trim new. I've never personally heard of a Trail Hunter trim before. It's very possible that it's a new trim. Very possible that it's an old trim. I'm gonna be honest. I don't pay more attention to Tundras. I'm a Tacoma guy.
Yeah.
When it comes to that brand.
Well, it's getting a new Trail Hunter trim, which seems to have the same powertrain. It's just got some suspension upgrades. Looking at coilovers in the front and revised rear dampers.
What engine are the Tundras using now? At one point, I think they were using the Ram engines, the Hemis.
I'm not sure. Let me...
iForce Max hybrid powertrain. Is that...
That kind of interests me, actually.
It's a hybrid powertrain? Actually, yeah, because we always talk about it. Hybrids are kind of the future. Even though it's a future neither of us want, because both of us love naturally aspirated crazy shit. But...
I'm not even gonna say it's a future that I don't want. It's a future I'm okay with. I actually quite like the potential that hybrids promise. I just think automakers are cowards.
I want to live a long, full life and then die first before it becomes the only future.
I mean, pure EVs is nightmare, but hybrids, gas over electric, you can make that
Look,
work.
I get the hybrid thing. I'm saying I don't want them to completely take over before I...
That's fair.
Kick the butt.
So this Trail Hunter, it's got they do add better underbody protection. They've got a steel skid plate, and that looks like a solid like quarter inch. I mean, that's fucking thick. Tow hooks, which I thought were standard all cars. Crawl control, multi-terrain select, whatever that means, and a locking rear diff, though not locking front, I think.
So the terrain control basically just changes suspension settings between things. So if you're off-road, it'll give you more suspension travel, and then it'll stiffen it up on the road.
Okay.
So that's the only difference there. The interior has the same problem that all new trucks have these days, and that it was designed around a center screen that I could just go without.
Yeah, at least it's got buttons and dials and a nice chunky shifter. I mean...
It's not a bad interior. The only thing that I have a problem with is the fucking iPad. If they found a way to integrate those screens better, it actually wouldn't be bad.
Let's see. So, yeah, it's a 3.4-liter twin-turbocharged V6. The hybrid system, so the gas engine produces 389 horsepower, and the hybrid adds another, looks like about 60 to 80, with a 10-speed auto. On a truck? Really?
Why does everything have to have a 10-speed?
What? More gears is not necessarily better.
I don't get the fascination with 10 speeds. I really fucking don't.
I think what they're trying for is they want to have low gears that are low enough down that you get a ton of torque when you're like trying to pull out of something or you're trying to pull a load, but high gears that are high enough that you can go at a decent speed while not having the gearing be super tall. And I can kind of understand the thought process behind that. I just don't think it's a very good one. The problem with 10 speeds, really anything that's more than like a 7 speed, is that you get your transmission starts to suffer from analysis paralysis and starts hunting for gears. It happens. And 7 speed. 7 speed, and content yourself with the fact that your truck is either going to be utilitarian or fast, and it really can't be both. It really just cannot be both. You can either have something that can pull 5 tons or something that can go 180 miles an hour.
Well, and trucks shouldn't be going above like 120 anyway. Let's be fucking real here. Pickup trucks, no matter how well they're built, should not be racing a straight unless you completely slam it to the ground, put it on drag tires, and actually make it almost a car. But if you have something that is on this kind of suspension, you shouldn't be going over 120. And even then, that's fucking really pushing it for what the car should be doing anyway.
So that continues our rant from last episode. It says every Tundra trim level will receive a new Toyota multimedia infotainment system with a 14-inch screen.
I don't need a laptop screen staring me in the face every time I get behind the wheel of a car. You want to distract somebody? Here's how you fucking do it.
Give me a ruggedized 7 or 8-inch screen with physical controls.
I mean, it really does come down to everything has to be fucking made around some stupid iPad in the dash.
Yeah.
It's fucking annoying.
I like the shifter, though. I like the center console buttons. I don't like the digital dash, but again, that is a fight that I am doomed to lose. Steering wheel looks nice.
The passenger side is nice and fucking empty. It's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it just really comes to, like, I don't drive a Tesla. If I wanted a big-ass screen, I'd buy a Tesla. I don't want a big-ass screen in the fucking car. The FRS has a tiny little screen. It has all the information you need on it, and it doesn't have anything extra. It's fucking great.
I hear you say that, and let me just bring this up.
Is that the new one?
No, this is a alleged aftermarket piece of kit that you can get for these cars. Someone makes that.
Well, there's an R word that we're not allowed to say on YouTube for that explains it very well. What's the point?
I don't even understand the utility of extending it further. There's no way in hell you're going to be able to interact with that. It does nothing.
Oh my god, dude.
So, I'm sorry. You were just talking about how small the screen of the FRS is, and I appreciate it. I have the really nice premium one they put in with the zipper, and it's so nice and so nostalgic too. And it's about as utilitarian as you can get in this market, and I quite like it. And I remembered seeing actually a worse version of this. There was a bigger version of this that I saw that I couldn't find in the 3 seconds I devoted to looking. So I figured you should be made aware, even if you don't want to be.
Remember when hookups for cars, like even aftermarket, used to be no screens, and then you'd have to pay a lot extra for screens? Now everything has to come with them.
The worst part is the screens don't come with physical controls anymore.
My 2001 Prelude has an aftermarket headpiece unit with no fucking screen on it. It has a tiny little LED bar that shows what the song name is. That's it. That's all it fucking has on it. And I appreciate that. It's fucking ridiculous.
Probably the generation that that the bespoke zipper system in the FRS represents is probably where it peaked, which makes sense because 2013, 2015 is where a lot of things peaked, and it's kind of been downhill from there. But anyways, to untangentify us, it at least has some restraint when it comes to the passenger side. At least the fake. Okay, I just noticed the fake. This looks like plastic, and the fake screws are kind of
obvious. I'm gonna be honest. It's a truck that's supposed to have a 4-wheel drive mode. I don't want a fucking selector knob that I can go down for 4-wheel drive, and I want a fucking manual goddamn stick on the floor that you have to push forward with all your might to get out, or in 4-wheel drive. Old school. I like old school. Give me the fucking gear selector behind the goddamn steering wheel, and give me the 4x4 selector on the floor. It's called a 4 on the floor for a fucking reason.
Oh god.
I knew you were going to get to that picture while you were flipping through this like a Rolodex, and it happened, and I'm glad you saw it. It's terrible, ain't it? It's not good. Some people are like, oh, it's newfangled. It's ugly. It's completely useless information. It's literally just for show. It's gimmicks to fucking allow for the price tag that this is going to cost.
Which it's going to cost. They don't cite a name, but probably in the 60 to 70K range. My theory, they really are trying to push the Tundra, which I think is their more premium truck. And this it's the full size. It's the more premium. This trail hunter trim seems to be they're trying to really make it look or be more off-road oriented, and they're really trying to push the Tundra, but as they note, like, it's had reliability problems, and on top of that, like, the kind of people that buy Toyotas, the Tacoma's more than enough truck for them. If anything, I think most people that would look to Toyota for a truck kind of wish it was smaller. All I hear anyone talk about when it comes to Tacomas is they long for the old ones that were smaller. So I don't know that this is going to improve sales of the Tundra any. I think the Tundra is
I don't
still
think it's going to. So
kind of fucked.
2027 Toyota Tundra Trailhunter starts at an MSRP of 68,200. So
People
you're right on the
with
money, 70,000.
that kind of
People with
money,
that much money are going to go buy one of the big three
yeah,
brands, at least in the
people
United
who
States.
want a full-size truck to haul like a gooseneck or whatever, they're buying a Ram or a Chevy or a Ford. They're not buying a
Well,
Toyota.
and what's the fucking capacity for this?
That's a good question. That I'd be interested in, because that would go a long way to explain why this shit hasn't been selling very well. I mean, it's
Well, the reliability issues of the engine.
the reliability
Oh,
issues
no,
also.
you're not gonna fucking tow with this anyway. It's got a V6 engine and it's got a 12,000-pound capacity. This is gonna be a truck somebody drives to work.
Well, no, the Tacoma is the truck people drive to work, and when
Well,
it
anybody who buys
as
this won't be using it for what
as
trucks are
as
normally used
regards
for.
the whole like selling point of this as the like, this is the sporty trim, this is the, you're not hauling stuff with this, you're going off-road with it. That's the sales pitch for the trail hunter. I almost said trail seeker, but it's a different thing. The problem is the Tacoma exists, and people that want a truck for sport buy the Tacoma because it's smaller and lighter, and it doesn't have superfluous shit they're not going to need. It's got more aftermarket. It's got more aftermarket support. It's got a better community. It's cheaper. It's, if you fuck up and need to get pulled out of a ditch, it's easier to do that. Like, I'm not even convinced, okay, that a full-size truck is a good idea for sporting purpose anyways. I'm call me old-fashioned, call me a curmudgeon, call me whatever the hell you want. I'm of the opinion the only purpose of a full-size truck is to haul shit.
Yeah.
And if you
I'm
want to
right there
haul
with you.
shit, why would you buy this over, like, I don't know, an F-250 or a 2500 or whatever the
Well,
fuck?
and that's the other part of this that you got to realize. One, it's a V6, and any twin turbo V6, the fucking turbos are going to go out. The thing's going to be a paperweight.
And also, it's not going to have a ton to work with down low. I mean,
No, it's
where is
not.
its
It's not
peak
at all.
torque? Let me see.
Fucking not where it needs to be to drag a trailer. I mean, 12,000 pounds is pretty good for a 1,500 class truck, but like for that same price tag, you step into a fucking 2,500 class truck.
So, let's see. Allegedly, the hybrid delivers maximum torque at 2,400 RPM, but again, that's a hybrid system. And as much as I liked hybrids for performance, if you're taking this off-road, how reliable is it going to be?
Dude, V8 non-hybrid is going to be so much cheaper to fix when it breaks than this. I mean, one, you're going to have to buy new turbos for this thing if you even dare tow with it. And two, the hybrid system goes out, and how much is that going to cost to replace?
So I'm not convinced. I mean, the interior is okay. It's acceptable. I understand where Toyota's coming from on this. I just don't think it's going to work, personally. At least the front grille isn't as ugly as it could have been.
I think Toyota is seeing a lineup problem that it has, and I don't think this is going to fix it.
Oh.
If I'm honest. They feel like they're missing something in the lineup. This is not what you're missing in the lineup because nobody asked for this. This is in a weird space where it's not great at anything and it's not good at anything.
I would imagine the Tundra probably is not long for this world. This kind of looks like a last-ditch effort to revive the make or to revive the model before they can it. So,
well, dude, the Tundra's I think stopped being a car that anybody paid attention to. Or a truck that anybody paid attention to when they stopped having the fucking Ram engines in them. Because they had a 5.7 Hemi in them for a long time, and those were really popular trucks when they had that. And then they moved on, and they started having serious reliability issues. And so, yeah, I think you're right. I think they probably aren't long, which is what it is.
Day late and $1 short.
It's one of the few It's one. Yeah, there may be many, there may be few, but it's one of the failings of the Japanese market is that the Tundras just didn't do as well as it could.
Yeah. So, moving on, and you wanted to lead on this one. Roush is now doing builds of the 1500.
So Roush is, as at least the performance division has a very, very long history of being almost exclusively for Ford. People like Roush Mustangs have been a thing for, good Lord, ever since the company was founded. When was Roush founded? Roush founded 1976. Roush was launched in 1976. It has basically been working exclusively with Ford on performance stuff since then. And Ford, if you have noticed, the newest Mustang didn't have a Shelby edition, and a lot more upgrades are coming in-house from Ford now. So the aftermarket's kind of being buried by real Ford performance parts instead of their aftermarket stuff. So you have companies like Shelby. Shelby was always more of a work with and then create like the Shelby GT500 kind of thing and the 350. And then you have shit like RTR, which is more like super specialized. They do off-road and drifting. Roush was always the street aftermarket stuff, like the high performance street aftermarket. Ford started moving on, and now I guess they feel like they need to branch out so that they can keep business. And they seem to have moved to Ram. Honestly, this truck sounds fucking awesome for what they're offering with it. Upgraded suspension, new wheels and tires, tons of visual tweaks. I mean, that's already a sexy truck, but with the upgrades, Roush create some crazy shit across the board with Ford products. So I can't wait to see what they end up doing with Ram. And I hope it spreads to the rest of maybe into Dodge like as a whole and then Ram and Jeep. I hope they start doing some crazy shit.
I have some caveats to that, which I'll get into.
Okay.
It does keep the stock powertrain, although you do get an exhaust bypass, which is of, in my humble opinion, limited utility on the street. You start with the 5.7 liter Hemi.
The 5.7 liter Hemi is a
Yep.
very long used. It's not completely bulletproof, but it's the workhorse of the fleet. They're starting to move towards 6.4 liters, but the 5.7 is it's a powerhouse.
The
So it's a
only
good engine.
real performance upgrade is the suspension. The Roush Performance coilover system that kind of lifts it up, gives you better ground clearance. Seems like it would overall benefit you. The new wheels, I mean, that's great, but you can put whatever wheels and tires you want in a car. I don't ever consider wheels and tires when it comes to considering a car because you can just swap them out freely.
Yeah, it's freely swappable.
So the visual stuff, the thing is, okay, so new suspension, throw in wheels and tires, I guess, as part of the package, and some cosmetic stuff. You're not touching the engine, you're not touching the transmission, you're only touching the exhaust in the form of a bypass, which is, again, of limited utility. How much do you think this should cost overall? I would say 8 or 9 grand.
Like added to what the truck normally costs, and then 8 or 9 grand higher.
Added to what is already a fairly high trim base truck anyways. 8 or 9 grand is what I would say.
I would top out 10 at most. I think you're right on the money. How much extra does it cost?
16.
Okay.
That's the part where I'm kind of like, where's the sauce? You gave me a nice looking burger. Where's the sauce?
Yeah, I feel that. I think they started with the suspension mostly because the suspension between that and what they normally work on, which is the Raptors, for Ford, are probably pretty close. I think there's a very real possibility that this is Roush's first little foray into Dodges, and so they decided not to start messing with shit that they don't understand yet. I think there's a very real possibility that if this works out, they start making performance parts for like engine upgrades and all that shit.
I mean, I get that, but we're talking
cool.
We're talking about coilovers, lower arms, wheels and tires, and some like probably literally tacked on cosmetic stuff. I mean, a pair of
I get what you're saying.
Bedsides, some lights in the grill, bumper, tow hooks. If this was like 8 or 9 grand, I'd say absolutely. But you're taking a truck that already costs 65, and you're adding another 16 onto that.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. So I think it's the name brand recognition, but the problem is they're working with somebody they've never really worked with before, so the name brand recognition should not command that much of a premium.
Yeah.
I think these trucks are going to be awesome. I think, even with no fucking performance upgrades, because
I
people already have shit
I
they can do with
feel
the engine
like
and stuff.
a
But
solid 90% of that awesomeness is just going to be the truck itself, though.
yeah, I can feel
Because
that.
all you're getting out of this really is coilovers.
Which package does this start as?
It starts as the Bighorn, which you know more
Bighorn.
about.
Okay. So the Bighorns aren't really the fucking off-road truck. So they took one of the really high-end comfort versions and put that on it. Which, if you have the money to buy that truck anyway and then want to also off-road, that I'd say that's a good upgrade. Because you're already paying a lot for the Bighorn.
Well,
So
yeah,
I can see where
65.
this makes sense to them, but I also, you could have taken like the base model Rebel and
Which
done this
is
with it.
is kind of what I would do, especially like why would you take the comfort trim and if you're going to take the comfort trim of a truck and turn it into an off-road monster, surely you would be touching the powertrain. You
Yeah.
would be throwing on a supercharger and tuning the fuck out of it and doing all that. If you're going to just do coilovers and all that, do it to the base model.
Well, and they're not touching the Hellcat because the Hellcat's already got all of this, and it's got
Yeah.
5 times the horsepower or whatever, but
Hmm.
not 5 times, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this is people that can't afford the Hellcat wanted a nice trim truck, but also want it to look like it's an off-roader.
Yeah.
I think this is not designed for everybody. This is designed for people that really like high trim shit and are gonna pay
Yeah.
for it no matter what.
Yeah, this isn't a performance upgrade. This is I have $16,000 to burn on Roush parts. Shit.
The
So,
off-road components are gonna be an upgrade.
yeah.
But it depends on what you're doing with the truck. Like the off-road performance parts will actually make it worse at what it's normally going to be doing, which is driving you to work and fucking potentially having shit in the bed and then towing a small trailer.
Yeah.
I think the suspension upgrade will actually lower the amount you can tow.
Certainly
I
that
might
too.
be wrong, but I think because of the travel and all that shit, it's gonna make it sit weird, and it's probably gonna affect the towing.
So, I mean, my verdict on this is it's a nice start, and it is positive to see Roush starting to work with Ram in the 1500. But for 16 grand, where's the sauce?
Yeah, 16 grand's a little bit extreme. I would love to know exactly what the normal cost on all these upgraded, like all the upgrades is, like part cost. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because it just says upgraded suspension on it.
let me see if Martini Works even sells shit for the RAM. But actually, I go with 2026. 2026 RAM 1500 Bighorn. Do they sell? Oh wow, they don't sell. Okay, so yeah. So like, and granted, these aren't like Roush coilovers, but still, I mean,
Okay,
a
it says
high-end coilover kit will run you 3.5. A
look up
Fox,
Roush Performance 2.0 coilover system.
I cannot spell today.
It's RU
ROU.
or ROUSH, yeah.
Roush, what coilovers again?
2.0 or Roush Performance 2.0 coilover.
Oh, yeah, the $1,400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
$1,400 worth of coilovers, maybe $1,000 worth of lower arms, throw on
twin
another
tube
grand.
hydraulic dampers.
Yeah. I
The
mean,
fucking
I'm still,
33-inch.
I'm not getting a number that goes past 8 grand, and they
No,
want
it's the
twice
name.
that. They want twice
It's
that.
it's the brand recognition, but the
You're
the problem is this is a new deal, so they shouldn't be using the brand recognition to swap up the price quite that much. I think this is partially Ram trying to sell this.
Yeah, because I mean, it does say that this is going to be sold through Ram dealers. So Ram
Well,
probably went to Roush, and Roush probably was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll do it." But
it's not 16,000. If it's going through Ram dealers, it's gonna be 20.
yeah,
And
so
that's it's gonna be 20 for the upgrade after the fucking markup. It's gonna be another 10 to the truck before the markup on the parts too.
so
So
if you see your buddy bragging about owning the like Roush package for their 1500, understand that that's not really doing anything for him. Now, it's not to say that the package doesn't do anything. It does a little bit. The coilovers, the control arm, the lower control arms, all that does potentially do something for the vehicle, but it's probably not doing anything for the people who are going to be willing to pay 16 grand for $6,000 to $8,000 worth of upgrades and an $8,000 badge.
yeah, and
So,
it's only the 5.7 too, so
yeah. So I'm not going to be totally negative on this, but where's the sauce? I wouldn't spend my money on this. If I had 16 grand and a 1500, I could put that money towards making it a lot spicier of a truck
It's a good
than,
start. I have a feeling this is going to be bought by a lot of people that don't spend money very well.
yeah.
But I as much as we're kind of much as it sounds like we're shitting on it, I hope this is the start of Roush moving fully into working with, at the very least, also Dodge on start and Ram on top of what they are already doing with Ford, because it seems like Ford's moving away from wanting to work as heavily on dealer additions with outside forces right now.
Mm-hmm.
So here's hoping they move in with Dodge and Ram and maybe even Chevy at some point. It would be nice to kind of see parts going everywhere instead of just like hogging all the good shit for one company. The aftermarket is definitely going to be better for this, I think, in the long run.
In the long run. In the immediate term, though, this is kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, it's a first thing. I think the price tag is the only thing that makes it underwhelming for me. I think it's a little bit too high.
Yeah,
It's
but
a cool upgrade, but it's a
that
little too high.
I'm with you on that. If this were 6 to 8K, I think I'd be probably on board with it. 16 is
Yeah, an extra 10 grand over what it should be is ridiculous.
yeah, 16
You might as well just
for something that doesn't touch the powertrain.
charge me for parts and then like an extra 1,000 for the shop. I don't. Why are you doing fucking as much as you're doing?
Yeah. So, moving on to something interesting. This is where we go to the rumors and speculation section of like every other episode.
Loving it.
Loving modern car reviewing. So, CarBuzz dug up a couple of patents filed by Mazda recently. One is for, I think, like specific modifications to an FR chassis, and the second is for crash structures of same. Or actually, it's for the first one is for the chassis for an FR car. So they're patenting it, which doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna do it, but it means they at least don't want anybody else taking the idea from them. And the patent seems to have butterfly doors, which is interesting. So this is the Mazda Iconic SP, which was their kind of weird concept car from a few years ago. And we do know that they're planning another generation of the MX-5, and it's going to have a gas engine. They say it's going to be the last one. I don't think so. I certainly don't hope so. A lot of technical stuff. The point of it is they want the patent talks a lot about improving chassis rigidity with butterfly doors, and some bracing vanes. The main takeaway from this, and I don't imagine we're going to spend too much on this, is from these patents, it's possible that they're going to be coming out with another small FR sports coupe with butterfly doors, and that maybe the next MX-5 won't be a convertible, which I'm of mixed opinions on.
I think if the car's small enough, it needs to be convertible so that people can fit in it. So I feel you, but there was also the hardtop fucking version of that car anyway. So I'm not really worried about that. You know what I'm really hoping? I'm really hoping they find a way to bring back. They either need to introduce some approaching supercar with this, because I feel like butterfly doors are kind of, you know, a very high trim, highfalutin kind of thing. It's for collectors and shit to go, oh, I have butterfly doors, you should get those. Or they're finding a way to make a new RX product.
And that's what I was gonna say, is they could go maximum quirky with this and make a little FR Roadster with butterfly doors and a 3-rotor engine.
If the doors are as short as the Miata, though, fucking butterfly doors are gonna get in the way of people getting out. They're just not gonna go out far enough. Yeah. I mean, look in the Mazda Iconic picture. Can you imagine the chassis being as short as the Miata and trying to get out through that door?
I mean, it kind of looks like it's only like a foot longer than a Miata. And
the door, there's a reason why Koenigsegg made the doors the way they did, where it fucking comes out a little and then goes straight up and like pivots on itself. It's because butterfly doors start to get in the way if the door's not long enough, or if you're not sitting far enough back in the door to get around it.
I'm of mixed opinions on news. I kind of just threw it in to make note of it in case this becomes a thing in the future, but
I think they're just randomly patenting things to see what happens.
Yeah.
I think they're probably trying things out right now, and they patented it just so if they did have a good idea but it didn't work out in their end, nobody else could do it without paying them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see where this goes. I'm hoping for an announcement from Mazda, but any announcement that doesn't include the words RX, new supercar, or rotary is not going to catch my interest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I kind of miss the rotary. I got to see an
Yep.
RX-7 this last weekend doing autocross. And my God, those things are amazing. It sounds like a bunch of angry bees in a coffee can, but it's
It does.
those cars are achingly beautiful. I mean, they look great. I mean,
Well, and at high RPM, they just fucking sound insane.
mildly silly looking third generation. You take that back.
You're genuinely offended by that statement. I can hear it.
The third gen is not as bad as people say it is, and I'm tired of explaining that. People just like to whine about it because it's not their car. Oh, it's different. And yeah, sometimes shit's different. Live with it. The auto industry is
I have to look at the 6th gen Prelude. I don't want to fucking hear different. You fucks.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah, the 6th gen exists. It shouldn't, but it does.
I have one last sort of random, almost schizophrenic thought to throw out, which is there have been rumors of Toyota moving away from Subaru and partnering with Mazda for the third gen 8.6.
Okay.
Butterfly doors on a third gen 8.6.
Actually. But why? My question for that would be, why is Mazda doing that instead of Toyota? As far as the
Who
patent.
knows? If that were to be the case, maybe to get better leverage for negotiations since they own the patent. I mean,
I guess that's
they're
possible. Maybe it was.
they're totally not doing that. This is 100% not accurate. But it would be very funny if it was, especially because those cars do have doors that are long enough to be butterfly doors. They're kind of obnoxiously long, in fact.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
All right. Moving on to something we've got a little more to talk about. So, this tickles me. I quite like this, but I've always been a fan of boxers. They're just so quirky and I love them. So, RUF, whichever, has said that they want to make a Boxer 8, which is
Which
could you
Boxer
imagine?
4s work and Boxer 6s work. So why hasn't anybody made a flat 8 yet?
Probably because Subaru tried a flat 12 and it definitely did not work.
You don't just go from fucking 6 cylinders to 12 cylinders and hope the shit's gonna work. You gotta work your way there. What the fuck?
Actually, it's worse. At the time, they only built flat 4s. So they went from
So
a
they
flat 4 to a
tripled the
flat 12 for like, it was supposed to be in an F1 car that I think only managed to race once. If I remember correctly, it was entered something like 20 or 23 races. It only finished one of them. It was that mechanically unreliable. In fairness to Subaru, they didn't build the engine, they lent the technology to the company that did, and the company that did sucked. But yes. Also because V8s are a thing, and like 90-degree V8 seems like it's probably the best way to get an 8-cylinder in. Really the only reason why you would go with a flat configuration over a V configuration is either A, you've got a 4-cylinder and you want it to be not inline, and because V4s are a little bit fucky, or you really want that center of gravity to be as low down as possible, like with the
Well,
718.
look at what they put it in.
And that's why
Look
they're
at the
going
car
with the
behind
Boxer
him.
8, which is
Yeah.
I think the reason they're going with that over a V8 is so they can put the center of gravity down as low as possible. I think also a Boxer 8 would have the same like perfect balance of other Boxers. I've built it too. This isn't even a concept.
They're putting this in. So these normally, the type of car this is, it's called a CTR 3.
Yeah.
They took up 911, stretched out the back like a Carrera GT, made it they normally put a 3.7 liter flat 6 with 691 horsepower in there. The Club Sport version of this car goes 236 miles an hour. They decided to take that car and put a flat 8 in it and make it 1,000 horsepower. Yeah. And the CTR3 Evo, the Club Sport is 777 horsepower. The Evo is 800. So this will be faster than all 3 trims of this car.
1,000 horsepower.
Which is already a crazy aftermarket.
738 pound-feet of torque. because those boxers are torquey fuckers too, in case we forget. 4.8 liters, so that's absurd power density. Twin turbo.
Yeah.
It's got a dry sump. They had to give it a double wishbone suspension with push rods. Make it holy shit. So this is like a super 718. This is fucking
It's sexy.
hot. It is. How does it sound? Because
Well,
we
Goodwood
know what
Festival
boxers
just
sound
came up, so
like.
let's find out.
So
CTR flat 8 sound.
I've got a link because we know what a flat 4 sounds like, and flat 4s sound fucking heavenly. So let's see this in action. Got the stream pulled up?
Yes.
It's like a V8, but meaty, rumbling.
The V8 with the boxer rumble is fucking crazy.
Oh.
Mother of God, that thing sounds cool.
It is. It's a V8 with the boxer rumble,
and just revving. God damn it.
Okay. Where are you putting it?
Where does my fucking Discord keep going? God damn it.
I have no idea.
Nah, it's being annoying. There we go. Are you fucking joking? Okay, one sec. No, not you. There we go. Copy, paste. It's in our private DMs.
Yep. Okay. Ooh. Can't wait to see that in Forza.
Right?
Yeah.
Roof hasn't been back in Forza since they finally got licenses for Porsche. I kind of want to see him again.
Which is a shame, because they make nice stuff. Like this.
Well, I think the agreement with Porsche was that don't ever put those shits in the game again. Because they take our product and change it, and you used it to get around it once. We don't want you to do that. But like the full Motul build, I can't speak. Motul on there. Like they used high-end parts, man. They used serious racing shit on here.
Yeah, this looks hot, and I wish I had the money for it. Comes the dry sump. Of course it does. That's how you know it's you're supposed to go out and race these fucking things.
Right. But the thing's sexy. That's modern Porsche aesthetics from the 918 with the back from the Carrera GT. It just looks good. That honestly looks like a good car.
Subaru, flat 8. They've done it, so can you. Start making weird shit again. You were amazing when you made weird shit. Just make weird shit.
Subaru, here's the next idea for your rally car, right? WRX STI flat 8 rear engine. Take the 4-door version of your next generation WRXs, take out the back doors, and put the fucking engine behind the driver's seat. Or behind the seat. So you have the expanded version like you have a 4-door, but you have a 2-door and a rear engine. Yeah. I honestly think that it'd be an incredible car.
Speaking of Goodwood, and I blame you for this because you wanted me to throw it in. What else debuted at Goodwood? This thing.
Yes. So the Ferrari Luce got unveiled officially at Goodwood, which is fucking hilarious. And everybody has been giving everybody else crap for saying that these cars look like they should have a Toyota or a Nissan badge on them. Well, here's proof. This is the Ferrari. Here's the Nissan Leaf, and here's the Prius. How did that get? Yeah,
it's the same photo.
Effectively the same photo.
Actually, it really looks like the Prius. It's got
Dad. Go away. It really does look like
the Leaf is a little chunky for it, but it has the exact same roof line as the Prius.
It's the same fucking thing. It looks like a misshapen Nissan Leaf, and it looks exactly like a Prius. What? Like anybody who says we're wrong, here's your proof. We're definitely gonna make a short out of this, by the way.
It's exactly the fucking same. Like, you know what? Just to be like pedantic.
Nobody can tell me those aren't the same car. It literally just looks like they took the Prius and they cut parts of it out, put some new lights on it, and rebadged it.
Play capture. Yup. So I'm throwing that on temporarily, and I will change. Again, you're gonna have to cut some of this out. I apologize. But
that's the same fucking car.
Same car.
I don't ever want to hear somebody call me stupid again for saying that Ferrari looks like something. It looks like a fucking Toyota or a Nissan. I don't want to hear from you. You fucking lost the argument. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's good job, Ferrari. You fucking suck. Okay, back to our
Old
regularly
man
scheduled.
Ferrari's rolling in his grave, but like you said last podcast, at least you'll be able to charge the batteries on your pieces of shit on the perpetual motion machine they put on that grave.
Oh, moving on to more design atrocities. I don't know what to think about this yet. Generally positively. So, the head of design at Maserati has apparently decided that he doesn't want Maserati to be associated with cheap crap. And he has said that he wants screens to not be directly in your vision and wants them kind of lower down. I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
Generally.
the one of the worst things about like all new cars and trucks, like the first the first article we looked at with the Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the iPad sticking a good fucking 6 inches over the top of the dash? Why have it lower, like realistically?
So this is what they've come up with. Now, I don't necessarily agree with his notion. He said, oh, we need a screen because otherwise there would be too many buttons. First of all, I don't think you need that many buttons.
It's a
Second,
sports car. You don't need that many buttons.
you've already got a ton of buttons on the steering wheel. Third, I like how they did this screen. He's
It
generally
follows
not
the lines of
specifically
the
right.
car. It doesn't just annihilate the lines of the car, because with every other car I've seen these big ass iPad screens in, you literally have all the interior lines block in the middle of the fucking thing. This actually follows the lines of the car. It looks good.
Yes,
It looks like it's almost flush with it. It's good.
it's also very unobtrusive. You're driving along, you're looking up here, your line of vision is around here. It is down from your line of vision. The only way
Exactly.
I can see that being a problem is if you're putting shit on that screen, and it sounds like he's got the right idea that he doesn't want shit put on that screen that you have to refer to while you're driving. But that is the downside of this, is if you ever put shit on that screen that you need to refer to while driving, you have made it worse than a standard iPad dash. But it sounds like they at least have kind of the right idea. I was skeptical initially, specifically because of navigation. Everyone uses GPS nowadays. I use GPS. I have GPS on my phone. It's on like a little vent mount. It's right off to the side of my vision so I can glance at it and glance back. It looks like from this image here, they're putting their GPS right in the middle of the dash, which is the only argument that I will personally countenance for having a digital dash, is that you can do this, and I think it's actually kind of neat. That said, you could still have mechanical gauges either side and just a little screen in the middle. Subaru does it.
Yeah,
But
I see your point on this.
that's an
The,
argument
the,
I'm never going to win. Another
the
thing I will
interior looks a
say,
lot better than most of the new shit that's coming
oh
out right
yeah,
now,
this
though.
is a
I
very
will say
nice
that.
looking interior, and I can't remember what like luxury automaker I was lambasting for this a couple episodes ago, but the analog fucking clock in the middle of the dashboard, Maserati, you have decided to do a heel face turn. That alone cements you as a serious luxury car brand in my eyes. The fact that when so many other brands, Ferrari, Lamborghini, yada, 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 I don't care, are doing digital fucking clocks, you have decided to keep it analog, and you probably have to hand wind it. Yes, that is how it should be. So,
It's funny. I think it's very possible the one that you were lambasting was the Maserati from one of the previous years
damn
of
it!
this same car. So they did an about face in their own fucking model, which is nice.
So yes, I agree with their head of design. He's quite right. The only thing is, if you're gonna put the display low down, which you should, don't put anything on there that I have to look at while driving. The vents should be
Yes, the
manual.
last
The climate control should be manual. Anything that I have to adjust while I'm driving, either if it has to display something, the display should be in my line of vision. If it doesn't absolutely have to display something, it shouldn't display anything, and it should be a physical fucking dial. My climate control doesn't have to display shit. My climate control adjustment, I don't need a display for that. So it is 3 dials, and they're way down, and I can, without taking my eyes off the road, adjust them by touch alone. That's
And at
so
most, if
easy.
you want to kind of be stylish, you do what my mom's fucking car does. and you put little lights above it, so as you turn it, it lights up those lights and tells you where it's set at.
Yes.
Fucking simple.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, so I'm looking at the interior footage from the 2024 Maserati Gran Turismo, and it was the older Maserati. So they actually took a page from Bentley's book and put a fucking real mechanical watch dial in there.
Okay. So there's that.
They've redeemed themselves.
Yes.
Because that's one thing we were really going to town on when we were looking, and I couldn't find an interior for the brand new one yet because they hadn't unveiled it. So that now that they've unveiled it,
yeah,
good job. Thank you.
And then he kind of fucks it when he says the predictive use of shift paddles for maneuvers instead of just changing gears up and down. You do a 3-point turn, your speed is low enough, the car recognizes you want to do this functionality, you confirm one pedal activates drive and one pedal activates reverse.
That's actually an interesting, that basically makes it feel like, at least when you're doing low speed turnarounds and shit, that's basically just GTA driving.
Yeah, but
you use the brake to go backward and the fucking throttle to go forward.
Yeah, but I don't want that in a actual car.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I can see your point on it, but it's a cool idea.
It's a cool idea. I don't really know if that's something you should actually do on an actual car. Personally.
Well, I'm still working 2 pedals to go any direction, so you know.
Yeah, but you're actually having to move a shifter.
Yes.
It's that extra level of interaction in between changing from forward to reverse that can make the difference in like a high tension situation, or if you're feeling rushed, or just if you're tired, between successfully completing a maneuver and going like full forward directly into a wall or a car or a pedestrian. It's the kind of simplification of controls that I have seen happen before in various things with catastrophic consequences. So I'm skeptical, but I'm a tradition. I mean,
I'm gonna call it right now. We're gonna see a rise in deaths, and people are gonna think at first it's gonna be from phones. We're gonna find out that people are spending too much time looking at their fucking iPad dashes because something pops up.
Probably already happening.
Probably, but we just haven't got the numbers yet.
It's interesting because it really does seem like Maserati is trying to turn around its reputation and trying to not produce shit cars. Here's hoping.
This is a good start.
I mean, their new shit looks nice. Their design philosophy is actually on point for once. Yeah, good for you, Maserati. Keep up the good work. Okay.
Don't fuck it up out of nowhere.
Yeah, don't pull a Ferrari.
And keep mechanicals, please.
Yes.
At least the mechanical watch. At the very least, if you're gonna have a watch in there, make it mechanical.
So, now for a design I do not like. This was originally posted to me by someone who I know is not at all a car guy, which is how I know it's terrible. If someone who isn't a car guy sends you a picture of a concept car, it's probably shit. And this is shit. Now, thankfully, this thing is only going to be in a video game, and a video game that is not at all about cars. It's the Aston Martin Dreadnought concept. It's going to be in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. I missed 3. I was only tracking 1 and 2. Of the new series. It's
3 was short.
All-wheel drive, V12. And you may look at this and think, okay, that's a bit ugly, and it is. It looks like a fat guy in Rimworld. Got the same shape as that, at least. They clearly did not know when to stop designing it. Also, what the fuck is this tread? This tread pattern is borderline useless in any circumstance. Not enough contact patch for the street, and too much room for shit to slip around for mud. But maybe you might be, and what the fuck are these side mirrors? You might as well not have them. You may be thinking, okay, but that's not so bad. Still think so?
It's a cool buggy. If somebody gave me the keys to it, I'd tear that shit up, but I definitely wouldn't put one in my garage for sure. Especially because it's an Aston Martin thing, which means they're going to try to charge 6 figures for this. That fucker better be 1,000 horsepower.
They're not going to charge anything for it. It's in a video game.
No, I know, but if they were to make this in real life, that shit better be 1,000 horsepower. I know. I'm the same way. I don't think they'll ever make this in real life, and that's a good thing. But can you imagine?
I don't want to.
If somebody gave me the keys, I'd drive it just to drive it.
If someone gave me the keys, I'd drive it off a cliff.
That's fair.
I like how they describe it as aggressively styled, because if they called it ugly, they wouldn't be able to get press passes from Aston Martin again, even though it's fucking ugly. The thing, and the people who'll say, oh, this is just in a video game, who cares about it, right? This is something that actual Aston Martin designers thought was cool. That should scare you. Now, I don't give a shit about Aston Martin, if I'm honest. They're British. The Brits make shit cars. They always have, they always will. But if Subaru did something like this, you'd have a problem. I,
That steering wheel is beyond borderline useless. If you scroll down a little bit,
ugh.
a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, there it is.
Do they have actual images that? Oh, okay, yeah, you do have it at a decent size. All right. This is what the interior is gonna look like the video game. Yeah, that's a yoke. All right.
I'm kind of gonna be honest with you. I like the gauges more than I like the gauges in most new things we've looked at recently. Just because they're just fucking simple. You've got a tachometer and a rev meter. That's it.
This whole gauge cluster is functionally useless. This dash is deep enough to get lost in. I don't know what the point of this is, but it doesn't do anything. The footwells are somehow simultaneously too deep and too shallow.
Yeah.
I hate it. This is
It's not
awful.
great. And the other one, the seats look like they're made of fucking bricks.
This is awful. This is...
Well, if you're wearing some kind of body armor also, this is supposed to be you're in the middle of war driving this around, I guess, at some point. If you're wearing a bunch of body armor, can you imagine trying to sit in one of those fucking seats? Those are like super buckets on steroids.
I don't even understand what the purpose of this would be in a combat environment.
They wanted something cool you could drive in a video game, frankly. There's no actual point to it. Although I will say, I think its element was designed with elements of a picture that I just sent you. There's a car called the Rally Fighter that was big in games for a little while and a few other places. They had it in the Transformers movie. So if you want to pull up your Discord again.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
That's not a bad looking car. And those things are actually pretty cool.
You know what? I don't agree. I think it is
agree?
kind of a bad looking car. I
That's
don't
fair.
like the curvy styling on an off-roader. It just looks goofy and ballooned.
Hey, that's totally fair.
This, I'm struggling to imagine what the purpose of this would be in a combat environment. Because it's a two-seater coupe SUV. Why that would be a thing, I don't understand. It looks like shit. This is what the takeaway is. This is what Aston Martin thinks is cool, and that should scare the shit out of anybody that cares about Aston Martin.
Either that, or Aston Martin decided to make something that looks nothing like all their other shit, so that they can fucking keep the game and themselves separated at an appropriate level. Except it has the Aston Martin logo on it, which means the separation is not going to exist anyway. So I don't really know what they were doing here.
Didn't Britain outlaw child labor back with like Edward IV? Why is Aston Martin getting away with hiring 8-year-olds to design their cars?
You gotta stop. You gotta stop. Oh my god. And by the way, I take offense that all British cars are bad. I think fucking I know Aston Martin has its problems, but I'm pretty sure McLaren's also British, and McLaren's are cool.
I don't think McLaren's British.
You don't think McLaren's British? I thought McLaren was British.
Bruce McLaren was an Aussie. Oh, they are British. They're based in Woking. They're owned by Abu Dhabi.
McLaren's are cool, but they break all the fucking time. So I guess in a way, British cars do suck, huh?
I mean, it's named after Bruce McLaren, who was a Kiwi, so fair enough, I guess. McLaren, I do have a soft spot for TVR because TVR is batshit insane.
TVR heads, the TVRs are cool.
But yeah, I wouldn't care so much about this, except this is what Aston Martin thinks is cool. So I have a feeling that they're gonna go the Jaguar route.
I think it's a very real possibility that Aston Martin was given, can you make us an SUV that's 2-door? That doesn't look like anything else anybody's ever seen. I have a feeling if they were given very specific instructions about how to...
They made something that nobody else would ever want to see, so...
I mean, that's fair, but I have a feeling they were given a very specific set of instructions about how this thing should theoretically look, and they did the best they could.
What the fuck is a 2-door SUV?
The only one I can think of is Jeep makes 2-doors.
2-door SUVs?
I mean, is a Jeep an SUV? Like a fucking Wrangler. Is a Jeep an SUV.
With a second row?
Some of them don't have second rows. I think they just have the seats and then they have a storage space behind it.
I mean, a Jeep's a Jeep. I mean, if you're talking about the little compact ones, that's a Jeep. I wouldn't even call that an SUV. It's its own thing. This is like a full-size SUV off-roader with no trunk, 2 doors and no second row. That whole back end is just a block.
I think my last thought on this is probably that they just rebadged a or not rebadged, but redesigned a Rally Fighter. Like, I'm gonna be honest, that's what this looks like. They took something that kind of already existed and they just rebadged it and put their own design elements in. You're right, it's completely useless.
My last thought on this is I really hope this doesn't show up in my dreams tonight.
It better be, I mean, theoretically, if you were to make this in real life, the only way anybody would pay any attention to it was if it was 2,000 horsepower and the fucking transmission was a sequential.
Please don't.
Don't do it, but I think that's the only reason anybody would pay attention to this.
Oh, and on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.